Welcome back to Release Control, episode 13. I welcome everyone that is listening to this episode. I can't believe I'm on episode 13. So I appreciate everyone listening, and let's jump right in. This episode is all about green flags. So last week we talked about red flags, what they were, what they look like, which ones to ignore, which ones can work, can we work on, and everything in between. So we're going to jump into green flags this week. Green flags in dating. Qualities that build healthy relationships. Okay, so we all know what red flags are, right? Everyone talks about red flags on the internet. Red flag this, red flag that, ignore this, don't ignore that, and so on. We don't really talk about green flags that much. But green flags are the healthy part of the relationship. Green flags are individuals that can communicate, individuals that respect your boundaries, individuals that have boundaries, individuals that prioritize your well-being, things like that. Those are green flags, and we don't talk about it enough. Healthy relationships are stacked with green flags. So we're going to jump into it. With that being said, so did you know that focusing on positive traits in a partner can actually improve your chances of building a successful relationship? So green flags, they're essential for every relationship. We need them, all right? You need to find someone that can communicate, someone that can understand their feelings, someone that can articulate their feelings, someone who can articulate their boundaries, their needs, their wants, what they expect from a relationship, what they're looking for in a relationship, what are they looking for in the future. All these things are green flags, healthy ways to build upon a relationship, building that foundation of a relationship that every good relationship needs. It. Every relationship needs a strong foundation to build upon. With that being said, we're going to talk about communication, emotional maturity, respect, shared values, and so much more. So we're just going to jump right into the first green flag that I have here on my computer that I wrote down. Open and honest communication. What does that look like? That is someone that respects you when you talk. So whether it be an argument, whether it be you two sitting down, talking about the future, talking about anything, someone that does not interrupt you, someone that responds thoughtfully when you're talking, can articulate what they need, can understand what you need, what you're talking about, and sit there and not interrupt, not need to be right, not need to know everything. Someone that can just listen. We don't listen enough. We like to talk, but in relationships, we don't sit back and listen enough to our partner and understand what they need and what they want. And we need to be able to listen better, listen more effectively, and try not to talk all the time. Their willingness to discuss tough topics, that's a green flag. Someone that can say, hey, let's talk about this topic. It's not comfortable, but let's talk about it because it's going to benefit our relationship. It's going to benefit us. Once we talk about it, we get through it, we understand where you're coming from, where I'm coming from, we can move forward in a healthy manner. Someone that is not scared of the tough topics, sitting down and talking about the tough, difficult shit that happens in relationships, finances, arguments, exes, friends, family members. All these can be tough topics to talk about that a lot of people don't want to dive into because it's uncomfortable, because it's going to start an argument, because the partner's going to get upset. The partner's not going to be able to articulate what they need or what they want. Being able to have these tough conversations is a green fucking flag. Willing to have these conversations is a green fucking flag. Understanding boundaries or past experiences. Tough, all right? Discussing boundaries and past experiences. How many people in relationships talk about boundaries? Hey, this is what I need. This is what I don't like. This is how you show me respect. This is how you show me disrespect. This is my boundary. Respect it. A lot of people don't have that conversation because it goes back to it's a tough conversation to have with people. Because a lot of people don't want to upset their partner because they don't want to have that argument, or they don't want to feel a certain way, or they don't want to make their partner sad or upset or pissed off. You got to be able to have these tough conversations in relationships. If you're not having authentic, real dialogue, touching nerves, real topic, real shit, then what kind of relationship are you in? Because relationships are not always roses and lovey-dovey and beautiful and happy every single second of the day. Relationships have up and downs. They have good days, they have bad days. You know, it's like the weather, man. You can have a summer here, winter here. They're like seasons, man. Relationships are not always going to be good. They're not always going to be bad. It's about the work and the effort you put into the relationship and how you want to grow that relationship. And understanding the tough topics, having the tough topics, understanding boundaries, being able to talk about boundaries, being able to talk about past experiences, talking about ex partners, past relationships, what you liked, what you didn't like, how you felt when they did certain things, or how you could have done better in past relationships. These are all lessons that we learn that we should be able to talk with our partner about. And a lot of people cannot have these tough conversations for whatever reason, whether it upsets their partner, it upsets them, they shut down, their partner shuts down, whatever happens. A lot of people in relationships are not having these conversations. So going back to honest communication, they ask questions and generally care about your thoughts and feelings. If you have someone that is actually asking you about your thoughts and your feelings, that is a huge green flag, because a lot of people don't like to talk about feelings. So if your partner's saying, hey, babe, how was your day? What are you thinking about? How are you feeling today? I'm just curious. I want to know how I can show up for you today. How can I show up for you in this relationship? How can I help your feelings and your thoughts? What can I do? What are you thinking about? These are questions that we should be able to ask in a relationship, and have your partner be able to talk about it, whether it's good thoughts, good feelings, bad feelings. You need to be able to discuss this. It goes back to having the tough conversations, the tough topics to talk about. Relationships aren't easy. They're difficult. But if you love this person, you're committed to this person, and you want to be with this person, and you want a future with this person, you have to have the tough topics, the tough conversations, and respect them, and care about their thoughts, care about their feelings. You have to. A relationship is not one-sided. Both individuals need to give a shit about each other enough to ask, hey, what are you thinking? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling about the relationship? What can I do better? What can you do better? How can we show up better for each other? These are the tough conversations you need to have that a lot of people are not having. And why it matters? It matters because open communication builds trust and prevents misunderstandings. So if you're able to open up and talk with your partner, it's going to build trust. If I have a partner and I'm saying, hey, baby, I don't like when you do, or maybe not that words, but, when you do this, I feel this way, and I'm not sure why, and all these, you have to have these tough conversations. It builds trust, right? Open communication builds trust, because if I know that you're communicating to me everything that you're feeling, whether it's good or bad, whether it's easy or hard, I understand that you're coming to me talking about hard conversations, and you're being honest, and I'm being honest with you. That's building trust. And every opportunity you have to build trust makes the foundation of that relationship so much stronger, and then prevents misunderstandings. Misunderstandings happen. So the more you can over communicate, open up with your feelings and your thoughts, it's gonna prevent misunderstandings in the relationship, right? And being able to discuss the tough topics, being able to sit down and not interrupt your partner when they're trying to discuss tough topics, when they're trying to discuss their thoughts and their feelings, even though it makes you uncomfortable, even though it may be feelings about you, you have to be able to sit there, not interrupt them, and allow them to speak what they're feeling. And a lot of people are not able to do that because it makes them feel a certain way. It triggers them, and then they shut down. And that's not good for any relationship. So something to work on if it resonates with you. And then how to spot it early. Pay attention to how they handle small disagreements or misunderstandings. And this is so important to really pay attention to in the early stages of either the talking stage or the early stages of dating, is how they handle disagreements, misunderstandings. Do they explode? Do they cuss? Do they shut down? Do they belittle people? Or do they sit back calmly? And I got it. Sometimes emotions run high, things happen. But if it's not consistent, if they're able to have a bad interaction, regulate themselves and come back down, I apologize. I'm sorry. I should have handled it better. And that's once in a blue moon is when they explode or they're not able to handle their emotions. That's something different. That's something that they can work on. That's something that they probably are aware of that they're working on. But if it's somebody that's not aware or just doesn't care about how they handle disagreements or misunderstandings, that's a red flag. And that's probably something you should really pay attention to and either address early or in the relationship. Because if someone is not self-aware, that's a problem. And there's a lot of people out there that do not have a lot of self-awareness. Because if they're able to be like, okay, I just had an argument, I should have handled it differently, I need to do a better job, then that's a green flag. All right? Someone that's able to have self-awareness and understand that they handled the situation, not correct, and they need to do a better job. Are they comfortable with sharing their feelings, or do they shut down? Golly, this is so important. Are you talking to someone, dating someone who is able to share their feelings, able to understand what they are feeling, able to regulate their feelings, able to express them without shutting down, without it overloading them to the point that they need to shut down and not talk for days and then come back and then just not want to talk about it anymore? That's not healthy. That's someone that has a lot of avoidant tendencies and somebody that needs to do a lot of work. And if they're willing to do the work and they're trying to put in and do the work, absolutely, that's great. But if they're not and they don't recognize it, that's something that I don't recommend people stay around and deal with. That's just my 2 cents. But if they're not able to regulate that and they don't see it, and they're not willing to work on it, or they don't even know that they do it, it's not good. Emotional maturity. All right, what does that look like? That's green flag number 2, emotional maturity. They take responsibility for their actions and apologize when they're wrong. This is a big thing, just like what I was saying earlier. So you're in an argument, maybe they cuss at you, maybe they hang up on you, maybe they yell at you. But if they can take responsibility and say, man, I fucked up, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you, emotions ran high, stress at work, and then, this is stressful, I apologize, I'm working on it, I need to do a better job, then that's a green flag. And then as long as they're putting in the effort to get better and do it less, green flag. But if they always say sorry and continue to the same behavior, that's a red flag. And don't fucking handle it. Address it. Have them work on it and fix it. And if they don't, then you need to know when to cut ties and move on from the relationship. But if they're able to take responsibility for their actions and apologize when they're wrong, that's a huge green flag, because it goes back to their ego. It goes back to self-awareness. They're able to push their ego away and say, hey, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I cussed. I yelled. I hung up on you. That's not how you should be treated. That's not how I should act. I apologize. Huge green flag. All right? Shows emotional maturity. They handle stress or setbacks with grace. And everyone has stress. Everyone has setbacks, right? But how they see it mentally is key, right? They don't let it hold them back. They don't allow it to keep them stuck. They keep pushing through, and they do it with grace and respect for other people, and they don't lash out. They express their emotions in healthy, constructive ways, right? Not yelling, not punching walls, not throwing things, not cussing, not belittling people, and just able to handle their emotions in a healthy, regulating way and move forward. That is a green flag. And why does it matter? It matters because emotional maturity is the foundation for resolving conflicts and growing together. If you have someone or if you're dating someone who is emotionally mature, there goes another piece to the foundation of that relationship to make it strong. And it's what you need in a healthy relationship. Immature behaviors like blaming or stonewalling can erode trust over time. Goes back to, you have an argument. Oh, it's your fault. You have another argument a week later. Oh, it's your fault. Another argument a week later. Oh, there you go, doing your thing again. And they're always blaming, and they're never taking accountability, or they're never taking some of the blame. Red flag. Address it. If it's not fucking worked on, if they're not putting in effort to improve it, again, you need to understand when to walk away from the relationship if they're not improving and they're not working on themselves. Walk away. And then stonewalling. Don't tolerate stonewalling. I understand. So there's a difference between, hey, I understand I'm an avoidant. When stressful situations or arguments or feelings start populating, I have a tendency to shut down. I need X amount of hours to regulate myself, and then we can come back and discuss it. That's different than, hey, I can't handle this. I don't want to fucking talk about it. I'll talk to you when I fucking feel like talking to you. Bye. Huge difference. If they acknowledge, hey, I need time apart, we'll come back and talk about it in the morning, tomorrow night, whatever it may be. As long as there's a plan to come back and talk about it, that's a green flag. So, something to think about. Signs to look for. Do they admit when they've made a mistake? Again, it goes back to it. Are they willing to have some self-awareness? Do they even have self-awareness that they've made a mistake? And it goes back to apologizing for that mistake, because we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We have good days, we have bad days, stressful days, non-stressful days. Some days we show up better during an argument than other days. We all make mistakes. But owning it, putting your ego to the side, and apologizing is key, man. It keeps the relationship healthy. It allows resentment not to build up over time. And it's just the best thing that you can do for the relationship. And how do they react when plans don't go their way? Like, do they fucking explode? Do they throw a tantrum? Do they shut down? Do they yell? Do they cuss? These are all fucking signs of emotional maturity. A lot of people that do not have the emotional maturity act out. They yell, they cuss because they don't know how to regulate their fucking feelings. They don't even understand most of the time what they're feeling. Most of the time, they don't understand that it's anger or pain or sadness that's making them fucking angry or whatever. And then they just shut down because they can't fucking handle their emotions. They can't figure out what they're fucking feeling, much less express them to you. So, again, know when to walk away if they're not able to work on it. I'm not saying walk away all the time. I'm saying if you ask them, hey, this is what I'm seeing, are you willing to put in some work? And if they say, yes, I need to work on myself. I understand that I don't show up as my best self for you during arguments or during hard times or during difficult times, and I apologize, then that's the step in the right direction. Step in the right direction. As long as they're taking accountability and want to better themselves and want to better the relationship, green flag. All right? Emotional maturity can help couples navigate challenges like finances, family issues, or career changes. Yes, it's how they handle stressful situations, right? If you're able to talk to your partner about finances, though they see it one way, you see it another, but if you can meet in the middle, that's a win, man. You can't win everything. They can't win everything. And it's about the relationship. What can we do best for the relationship? Not how many wins do I have? How many wins do you have? Because that builds resentment. But how can we show up? How can we get the result we want for this relationship? That's where you need to be at. Green flag number 3, respect for your boundaries. Are you dating someone that respects your boundaries? Do they respect your physical, emotional, and time boundaries? What does that look like? Physical, whatever boundaries you set for physical, do they respect it? Do they not second guess it? Do they not try to cross the line of that boundary? Right? It's all about respect. And do they respect it? And if they don't, you need to be able to stand up and address it. If you're not able to address it, then how are they going to know that they're crossing boundaries? Yeah, they should know because you put it in place, but you need to let them know, like, hey, You're about to cross my boundary and I don't appreciate it. I've given you my boundaries already. I'm sticking to my boundaries. Don't cross them. And they need to respect that. They don't pressure you into things you're not comfortable with. They value your need for personal space and independence, right? And the pressure probably be like, I don't know. Could be in anything. The sexual area, right? In the bedroom stuff. Are they trying to pressure you to do things that you don't want to do? Or you pressuring them to do things they don't want to do? Or maybe they're pressuring you to buy a new car and you don't want to buy a new car because you don't think your finances are there yet. Whatever it may be. Pressure is not a good thing. All right? And then do they value your need for personal space and independence? Do they allow you to, to hang out with your friends, to go away for the weekend, just have a friend's weekend, whatever it may be, your independence. Maybe you need some time apart. Maybe they need time apart. Maybe they need to hang out with their friends and you hang out with your friends. And maybe Friday nights are date night for y'all. And Saturday nights, he hangs out with his friends and you hang out with your friends. And then Sunday, y'all hang out again or whatever it may be. So these things are not talked about in relationships and in the dating stages, in the talking stages, until it gets to a point that it becomes a problem. And then they fight about it. And then all this could have been saved, or all this could have not happened if you would have just talked about what you needed and what they needed in the beginning. So again, respecting personal space and independence. Why does it matter? Respect shows that they see you as an equal partner. It prevents feelings of being controlled or undervalued. Controlled. Nobody wants to feel like they're controlled. And this goes back to hanging out with friends. Having your independence, whether it's you going to the gym every day or hanging out with friends on Sundays, watching football with the guys, whatever it may be. Nobody wants to be controlled and no one needs to be controlled. Goes back to boundaries. Hey, we're going to be dating. Let's do fucking Fridays for us. Saturday for us and the kids or whatever. Sundays for me and the guys and you and the girls. Y'all go to brunch. We'll watch football. Whatever it may be. Y'all need to talk about this in relationships, and it's not fucking happening until it comes up in arguments, and then everyone's angry, and no one's talking about it. So talk about it with whoever you're dating, whoever you're in the talking stages with, talk about it. Do they check in with you before making assumptions about your preferences, right? And how do they react when you say no to something? That goes back to emotional maturity and respect. If they're pressuring you, let's say to buy a new car, and you say, no, we're not going to buy a new car. We can't do it right now. And they make you feel like shit, and then they explode and they throw a tantrum and then they're screaming and yelling. Like, what is that doing? Or what if they, like something in the bedroom or whatever, right? Something sexual in nature. And they want you to try this or try that, and you don't feel comfortable with it. And then they try to make you feel guilty. Or they say, oh, if you loved me, you would do it, and so on. That is not good. It's not healthy. Lacks respect for you as a person and for the relationship. Moving on to green flag number 4. Shared values and long-term goals. We've talked about this in previous podcasts. Okay, when you get with someone, you need to have someone that is, has the same goals as you, long-term goals, shared values, because it makes the relationship stronger. It makes the relationship not easier per se, but feels more valued, feels more fulfilled, right? They want the same things in life, like a family, career priorities, or lifestyle, right? If you want kids, you want to marry someone that wants kids, because if you marry someone that doesn't want kids, and then you ask them in 2-3 years, like, hey, you want kids? And then they're like, no, I told you I didn't want kids. And now you're just stuck with someone. You wasted 5 years. They don't want kids, but you want kids. So shared values is important, right? Career priorities. What are their priorities? Are they trying to, climb the ladder of the corporate world? Are they, do they want to live on the beach? Do they want to travel more, work less? All these things are key to successful relationships, because got to be able to have shared values of the relationship. What does the relationship look like to you? What does the relationship look like to them? Because if they're seeing the relationship in different eyes and you're seeing it in different eyes, how's it going to work? What if they want to travel the world and work less than 50% of the time and travel, and you want to fucking climb the corporate ladder there at your job and be the CEO or whatever, and it doesn't align, right? They respect your beliefs, even if they don't align perfectly with theirs. Respect. It goes back to respect. I may not see eye to eye with you, but I respect your thoughts, your beliefs, your decisions, how you see life. Your partner should respect you and respect how you see life, respect your beliefs, respect everything about you. They don't have to agree with you all the time, but they should be able to fucking respect you. That is key in a relationship, respect. They're willing to discuss future plans and adjust together. Plans change, right? Maybe you don't want kids, and then you get married, and maybe you do want kids. Things change, people grow, people change. So just how you start a relationship doesn't mean that's what it's going to end with, right? But again, it's safe to be like, hey, do you want kids? No? Then maybe that's something to talk about and discuss before you even get into a relationship or get married. But plans change, man. And are you willing to adjust together? You know, maybe that person wanted to go crawl the corporate ladder and become the CEO. And then maybe after a couple of years, they're like, fuck it, man, let's just travel. So things change. Things can change. People don't stay the same always. And why does it matter? Why does it matter, Alan? Shared values create a sense of unity and purpose in a relationship, right? People want to feel united. They want to feel like there's a purpose in their relationship. If you're in a relationship and you don't feel united together, then what are y'all doing together? If you're not putting in the work to feel united, to feel together, to feel like you have a purpose in that relationship, what are y'all doing? You're just wasting time. So that's why it matters. Are they open about their vision of the future? Do they tell you what they want their future to look like? Do they say, hey, I want to fucking take over the social media world. I want to be a fucking online personal coach. That's my goal. I want to take over TikTok. Whatever the case may be. I want to be a CEO. I want to start my own business. Whatever. Are they sharing their future plans, their vision with you, and are you supporting them? Right? How do they handle value? How do they handle value differences? Do they try to understand or dismiss them? That's an important one. Right? Because our values are different. Not everyone sees everything the same, and that's okay, But do they respect your values and your differences? So, green flag number 5, mutual support and encouragement. What does it look like? They celebrate your big wins, whether they be big or small. All right? And are they cheerleading? Are they a cheerleader for you? Are they cheering you on, man? Are they celebrating your wins at work or out of work, wherever it may be, whether they're big or small? Right? Maybe you just got a promotion. Are they there for you at your promotion? Are they fucking there when you're getting recognized? Are they saying, hey, great job. You're fucking doing amazing. I'm here for you. Are they cheering you on? Are they your fucking cheerleader? If not, then what are they doing? What are you doing? You want someone that's going to support you, that wants you to win, that wants you to succeed in life. If they're not wanting you to win for whatever reason, that's a problem. Goes back to fucking disrespect and not respecting you, not loving you, not seeing you as their partner. Because male or female, it doesn't matter. You fucking support each other through every fucking win, right? Do they offer encouragement when you're feeling down? Do they say, hey, babe, I know things are tough right now, but hey, you're going to get through this. We're going to get through this together. I'm going to make sure we get through this. I'm right here with you. I'm going through this shit with you right now. If they're not encouraging you, then what are they doing? What are you doing? Why are you wasting your time with someone that's not there celebrating you and encouraging you through the good, the bad, and the ugly, saying, hey, I got you no matter what. No matter how low this shit gets, I'm not fucking going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. We got this, and we're going to fucking see a better day. If they're not doing it, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. They actively support your growth and your dreams. Does your partner support your dreams? I don't care how crazy they think your dreams are. You want to be the CEO of Google. You want to fucking create a new fucking search engine. You want to create a fucking new dating app. Whatever your fucking brain can come up with. Are they supporting your dreams and your growth in life? If they're not, if they're saying, I don't think you can do it, or there's already fucking Bumble out there, Tinder, why do you want to make another one? If they're second guessing you or making you think that your fucking dreams are shit and they're just shitting all over them, that's a problem. That's probably somebody you don't want in your life because they're holding you back. You have to dream. These fucking people that created Google, Microsoft, all this shit, they fucking were dreamers, man. They put in the work, but they saw something that a lot of people didn't fucking see, and they didn't let no one stand or keep them back. They fucking kept hustling until they created the iPhone, and they created the fucking computer, and they created the dating app, and they created fucking all this shit that's out there. All these ride shares, all this shit. Because they fucking knew, and I'm sure they had people behind them pushing them saying, you got this, and created these fucking great things that we all use. And maybe you have a great fucking idea, and all you need is just the encouragement to fucking keep going, to push that fucking great idea out into the fucking universe. And maybe you'll change some lives. So if someone isn't there supporting you, celebrating you, encouraging you, then why are you wasting your time with them? Especially if you're sitting there encouraging, celebrating, and supporting them, and they're not doing the same for you, that is a fucking problem. And why does it matter, you ask? A healthy relationship is a partnership where both people want to see each other succeed. Both of y'all should want to see each other succeed, because if both partners succeed, then that fucking relationship succeeds, whether it's financially, emotionally, romantically, whatever. When y'all succeed, the relationship succeeds and everyone levels the fuck up. That's where you need to be. You need someone that is going to be fucking right next to you through the good, the bad, and the ugly, supporting you, celebrating you, and encouraging you. So, let me see here. Feeling supported. Yeah, feeling supported builds confidence and deepens emotional connection. If you have someone by your side that is always by your side, that is rooting for you, that is there when you're fucking emotionally down, every time that you're down, that person is there just encouraging you. Man, that builds fucking confidence in that relationship. Like, hey, this person is not going anywhere. This person has my back. And that's what y'all need to build in a relationship. That's what a relationship needs to be. It needs to be built on just pure love, man. Pure connection, pure encouragement, support, celebration of each other for the success of the relationship. So pay attention to how they react to your ambitions. Do they cheer you on or do they brush it off? That's a problem. If they don't cheer you on, say, hey, you got this. You can do this. I fucking believe you can make the next best fucking search engine, or you can do whatever better than the next fucking person. If they fucking root for you, that is a fucking winner, man. And if they don't, if they shit all over it, brush it off, don't pay attention, that is a fucking problem that you need to address. Are they there for you during tough times, or do they disappear? Damn. When you're going through the shit, are they there with you? Are they stuck in that mud with you, going through the shit with you, or do they disappear and let you handle all that stress, all that pain, all that anger, all that disappointment by yourself? That tells you who that person is. If they show up during the tough times and they're there with you, they're rooting for you, they're fucking celebrating your fucking wins, and they're there when you're fucking losing, that person is a fucking godsend. Do not get rid of them. So pay attention to how they treat you. Green flag. They prioritize you without losing themselves. This is a big one. I've been guilty of this one too. So they make time for you without abandoning their own interests or friendships. I've been there, man. I've been there on the bad side of this where I lose myself in a relationship. And it's not good. It's not healthy. So you need someone, both people need to be able to show up for each other, but still be able to do their thing. Still be able to show up for their own interests, hang out with their own friends, and not abandon themselves for the relationship. A lot of people are guilty of this. A lot of people just pour into the relationship, forget who they are, stop talking to friends, stop taking care of themselves, and just pour into the relationship and make that person just, solely number one priority in their life. And it's not a good thing. It's not healthy. I'm guilty of it, and it's something that I'm going to work on, moving forward whenever I get into my next relationship, is putting yourself first. And it's not selfish. When you put yourself first, then you're helping them out and you're helping the relationship. So put yourself first, whether it's your health, your fitness, your job, your passion, whatever it is. Make time for your partner, prioritize them. It's a balance. You can balance all this out. There's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. There's plenty of time to do what you need to do for you, to take care of them, to support the relationship, to support your partner, being able to balance it all. They strike a balance between being present for you and maintaining their individuality, right? You need someone that's going to show up for you, but also show up for themselves. A lot of us, again, we lose who we are in relationships because for whatever reason, we prioritize the other person. We lose who we are. We focus all on them. And then the person gets tired of it, too. So prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your partner is a good thing. It's a healthy balance that we all need. Why does it matter? A healthy relationship thrives when both partners have a strong sense of self. So if I'm taking care of myself and my partner's taking care of herself, then the relationship is strong physically, mentally, health-wise. The relationship is strong. And codependency can lead to a burnout and resentment, right? Because the partner feels like you're codependent on them, that you need them to fucking survive, that you need them for their happiness or for your happiness, right? And that's a lot of pressure on somebody to think that, damn, that person needs me to feel happy. And I'm sure I've made, ex-partners feel that way. And that's something that I need to work on, that I don't need a partner to feel fucking happy, to feel love. That shit comes from within. And I've learned that these past, 5 months now from this breakup. Like, I've learned to love myself. All the love I was pouring into her, I didn't pour into myself. And now I'm pouring it all into me because I'm my fucking number one priority. Well, my daughters and then myself. And yeah, man. So there's no more codependency and none of that shit on anybody. It's all about me prioritizing my health, my fitness, my job, my hobbies, my likes. Yeah, and then when I get a fucking partner, we'll fucking balance it out and it'll be too easy. Right? So how to spot it? Do they have hobbies, friendships, goals outside the relationship? All right. What are their hobbies? Do they have any? Do they have friends? Do they hang out with their friends? Do they talk to their friends? Do they have goals outside the relationship? Maybe they want to fucking take over social media. Maybe they want to be the next fucking content creator, whatever it may be. You support them. You allow them to fucking grind and do it. And you never know. It may become a thing. But do they have hobbies, friendships, and goals outside of the relationship? Are they encouraging you to maintain your independence too? That's another thing. There's a lot of times that, the codependency falls into the area of, oh, I need you all the time and I need to be with you all the time. And, you can't hang out with your friends or you can't do this or whatever. And it almost becomes controlling to a point, which is not good for any relationship because nobody should be controlling anybody. So something to think about. That's the last green flag. So recap on the green flags we talked about was open communication, emotional maturity, respect for boundaries, shared values and goals, mutual support, healthy balance between togetherness and individuality. So those are just some green flags of many different green flags, something to think about. And I want to kind of end it with, a lot of people think that relationships need to be filled with drama, excitement, and all that shit, but it doesn't. A healthy relationship is almost a boring relationship because if you look at all these green flags, if you have open communication, emotional maturity, respect for boundaries, there's no drama, there's no bullshit, so it's calm. It's almost what people call boring because it's healthy. Those are the relationships you want. And if you find people that need drama, that need theatrics, that need all this bullshit in a relationship, that's a fucking red flag within itself right there. So most healthy relationships are pretty low key, pretty boring, pretty chill because there's no drama in it. Everyone understands to have open communication. They're emotionally mature. They respect each other's boundaries. So there's no fighting, arguing, no drama all the time. So, that's just my 2 cents. A healthy relationship is boring, but it's good. It's good. Healthy relationships don't need to be full of excitement and drama and arguing and fighting. So, in the comment section, give me some of y'all's, what do y'all think are some green flags, whether in past relationships, in some of your current relationships, or if you're not in relationships, what are some green flags that you look for when you're talking to someone? So drop those in the comments, and also give me a follow for the next episode. Share the podcast with your friends and family. Share this episode with friends and family. Let's get this podcast spread out across the world, baby. And then next week, we're going to dive into the impact of what past relationships have on new ones. How do past relationships affect new ones, right? Because a lot of times people don't heal enough. And I'm not saying 100% healed, right? Because we're never going to get 100% healed. But do you get healed enough, 90, 95%, 85%, and be able to go into a new relationship without talking shit about your ex, without bringing any of that baggage into the new relationship, without thinking that the opposite sex is all full of shit, they're all liars, they're all assholes, or whatever. All that baggage from previous relationships, are you healed from it for the most part, for you to be able to move into a new relationship and have a successful relationship without all that baggage? So we're going to dive deep into that. So hopefully you will all be back for next week. Remember, share the podcast, share the episode. Find me on social media. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, X. What else am I on? Fucking all that stuff. It's Real or Release Control Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, X, all that good stuff. Until next week, y'all have a great, great week. Thanks for stopping by and listening to the podcast.